Good evening, folks. How are we? I'm a little bit late. I said I'd be on at 10 o'clock. It's like, I think it's like 2 minutes past 10. Nina, I've just seen you join. Thank you so much for joining us. I was running around printing out some slides tonight because I've got some absolute kick-ass strategies to share with everybody about goal setting, how you're going to achieve all of your goals, everything that you want to achieve and more in 2016 and beyond. Hello Nina, hello Kim, Carl, good evening. Good to have you here, buddy. Thank you very much for the testimonials people have been sending in. I'm launching Bulletproof Actor, Unstoppable Confidence, Infinite Success in about a week. I'm very excited about it. Christine, great to see you. Cheeky Peeky is here as well. I'm super excited about this scope. I'm going to give people a little bit longer than normal to join because goal setting for me is something that I do every year religiously. My day for goal setting is New Year's Eve. It's tomorrow. It's a pretty lengthy affair. It's not something that I just do like for 10 minutes, something like that. It takes a few hours. Who's that? Sam, good evening. Great to see you. I am plugged in. I'm on aeroplane mode and I've got a coffee, thanks Kim. It's been a while since you've had to remind me. I've not been doing as many scopes recently, but we're still in the game. Yeah, so I spend every year I spend a day on New Year's Eve. And I set myself 7 to 10 goals, no less than 7, no more than 10 for the following year. I started doing this 2 years ago. I did it properly for the first time last year in 2014 and absolutely, without a doubt, had my best year ever in 2015. I'm ridiculously excited for 2016 because I've got even more going on, built on top of the goals from that, you know, the things that I've achieved in 2015 because I set those goals. And hopefully that's how it's going to continue for years and years and years. Kim, you surprised you remembered? I know. Well, now we're going to be regularly scoping again. That's going to be your job again. Always remind me. Aeroplane mode, plugged in power, and I've got a coffee. And I'm on almond milk now with my coffee since I went to LA because everyone's on almond milk out there because dairy's not as good for you apparently. But it's actually all right. It's dearer though. Almond milk is definitely dearer. So before we start, could you share this for me as well, guys? Share, swipe across or up and down, depending on what device you're on. Share it to Twitter, to Facebook, that kind of thing, because this, Girly Whirly, good evening. How are we doing? Andre, good to see you. I'm good. Good to see you. Yeah, if you could share it, that'd be great, because tonight, it's not just about acting and for actors and stuff. This goal setting stuff is like magic and gold for everybody, basically. So thanks for sharing, Christine. I've seen you sharing. Thanks very much. So yeah, if you think your followers on Twitter or Facebook or anything like that would appreciate it, then do share it out. It'd be good to you know, try and reach as many people as possible. Sam has just shared it as well. Thanks ever so much for doing that. Christine shared it on Facebook. You're all sharing it. You're a good lot, aren't you? It's this is what I like. It's about the Bulletproof family. Everybody's very cooperative. So, oh, look at this. Carl's sharing, Girly Whirly sharing. Who's tried to set themselves goals before, or who's never set themselves goals before? Let us know either way. Who's ever had like a goal setting process every year, and who knows how to set goals, or have you used any particular systems, you know, anything like that? Let me know before we start, just in case anybody's, you know, Laura's here. Good evening, Laura. Good to see you. Yeah, let us know if you tried to set goals before. And how well, you know, how effective that was, how well you did with those. Is it something that you do religiously, preached but never really practiced? Ooh, so that's, you know what, acknowledge Sam for the honesty. Round of applause. Nope, need enlightenment. Excellent. I will give you some enlightenment tonight. It's dead easy, you know, but it's just something that we all, I don't know, we kind of feel, I think, that we don't need to do it. It's like, I want to know what I want to achieve in life. And it's not really till you sit down and ask yourself really what you want to achieve, that you figure it out. And this isn't something you should rush either, guys, okay? Don't rush through this. Start thinking about this after the scope tonight, and then people can, you know, you can get into real good depth for goal setting tomorrow. I'm good at setting goals. Useless at flowing through. I think you mean following through. It's predictive text, but yeah, well, that's another thing as well. So tracking goals. As well, I'm going to mention that a little bit tonight. So tracking goals is absolutely essential. Most people fail to get anywhere with their goals because generally, I mean, particularly this time of year, people set New Year's resolutions. When do you think, on average, they check in with themselves to see how they're doing on their goals if they set a New Year's resolution tomorrow night? Let me know what you think that is. Funnily enough, met Ben Cogan recently, and he suggests I set goals with my agent. Yes, Exactly, and I'm going to talk about this as well at the end of the scope as well, Nina, definitely. But when do you think most people check in with themselves when they've set a goal on New Year's Eve? When do you reckon it is when they actually take some time out to go, did I achieve what I set my New Year's resolution? When do you think that is? Any suggestions? Because I can tell you when it is for most people. It's actually the following New Year's Eve. Well, never. So there we go. So we got never for Christine. So most people do it the following New Year's Eve, and they go, right, oh, did I achieve what I? Yeah, there you go. Following New Year's Eve, says Sam. So they're checking in on themselves once a year. How on earth do you think you're going? Keep yourself accountable to achieving your goals if you're checking in with yourself once a year. Imagine if you just checked in with yourself once a month. Okay, you would have 12 times the chance of success. If you check in with yourself once a week, you get 52 times as much chance of succeeding than all those sheep who just, do what everyone else does and just check in with themselves once a year. So tonight, I just want to go through, it's going to be about 20 minutes, I think, 25 minutes. I'm going to go through my strategy that I use, actually with a twist as well, because a good friend of mine, a guy called Michael Hyatt, great business mentor, I often set goals using his techniques, and he's come out with a new acronym this year to set goals. You might have heard of SMART or SMARTER as an acronym for setting goals. It stands for specific, measurable, actionable, realistic, time-bound, exciting and relevant. We're going to do a bit of a twist on that today. We're going to use Michael's new acronym. It's nothing to do with SMART. There's a couple of things within the SMART acronym that doesn't sit well with me, so I'm going to use a new one. So tonight, guys, how to achieve all of your goals and more in 2016. So I hope you're excited. Got a few stats for you first of all that I think you'll all appreciate. We can all have a little bit of a laugh at. Well, it's not a laugh if you're the people doing these, right? So I want to make sure that you are in the 1%, okay? The 1% of people who will have massive success in 2016. 99% of people out there are the sheep who do what everyone else does and expects to get different results, and they are not going to have success next year. 25% of people abandon their New Year's resolution after just 1 week. Okay, 60% of people abandon their New Year's resolution within 6 months. Even after a heart attack, only 14% of patients make any lasting changes around diet and exercise. So I want you to forget your resolutions, okay, tonight. I want you to take those vague aspirations, because that's what resolutions are. People say, oh, I want to earn more money, I want to get slimmer. So vague, you're never going to do anything with those. Get rid of those vague aspirations and let's create some powerful, compelling goals. And I'm going to take you through a process now in a second of how you can actually kind of go through that and make sure that your goals are compelling and that you're setting goals that are gonna be achievable and are gonna really inspire you to go after the next year, and how you do that. So research shows literally just writing down our goals, and tell me now, or heart it up, give us some hearts if you actually even write down your goals. People, a lot of people don't even do this, but research shows that just writing down our goals gives us a massive 42% greater chance of hitting them. Okay, so don't leave your goals and aspirations sitting in your head, right? I want you to write them down on paper, and I mean with a pen. Okay, don't get your smartphones out and your tablets yet. You can always transfer them across once you've written them down, with pen and paper. Kim doesn't think she's ever written them down. Well, this is going to be like super powerful for you this year. Honestly, the first time I did this, you get so much clarity when you write something down, and there's something about holding a pen and getting those thoughts in your head, through your arm, into your hand, into the pen, and out onto the paper. There's some kind of like muscle memory within your hand as well. As you just must create stronger connections in your brain when you're processing it, writing it down, than typing or putting it on your iPad or anything like that. And you remember them. But that research is fascinating. That 42% greater success rate is for people who, the research is for just people who write them down. That's not even checking in on themselves later on. That's not even, reading them again or doing anything with them. That is literally just writing them down is going to give you that 42% boost, which is incredible. It's just, if you're going to give yourself anything easily this year, give yourself the gift of writing them down. So the way that we go through when we're writing them down is we're going to go through an acronym tonight. Like I say, I used to do it through the SMART acronym, which, as I said, stood for specific, measurable, actionable, realistic, and time-bound. And I then added on E and R, because Michael Hyatt, so one of my mentors, he did that, and they stood for exciting and relevant. But neither of us enjoyed the fact that there was an R in there that stood for realistic, because I don't think, who thinks they get anywhere being realistic with their goals, really? You know, is that somewhere that's, you know, is that something that's going to take you out of your comfort zone? It's going to actually kind of excite you? You know, is it going to, you know, compel you to keep going after them if they're just realistic? So we're going to use a different acronym tonight that Michael has recently come out with, and you'll find out what it is once we've been through these steps, because it's going to spell it out. So, state your goals effectively. This is the key, ultimately, to you know, to getting these goals down on paper and to figuring out what your goals are going to be. The first step is that they have to be actionable. Okay, so that's the A in our acronym, actionable. Your goals must begin with a verb. Okay, do not, realistic doesn't give you something to push yourself towards. It doesn't, Kim, at all. So your goals must begin with a verb. Do not set yourself to be goals. Who set themselves those in the past? I want to be slimmer. I want to be richer. You know, those to be goals, they're not, they're just not actionable. Okay, you want to set goals like, you know, use words like quit, run, you know, finish, eliminate. E.g., you know, my goal is to run 30 minutes on the treadmill 4 times per week. Okay, they're actionable verbs. Okay, they're not to be, you know, to be goals. Your goals have also got to be aligned. Okay, the second A in our acronym is aligned. Okay, and that means that your goals must be aligned with your season of life. Values, so the values that you hold as well, and they've got to be aligned with each other as well. So there's a few seasons of life, and there's nothing to do with your age or anything like that. It's to do with kind of where you might be in your career, or, you know, on the ladder of life with family, and, you know, all sorts of things. But you might be in the spring, which is like a new beginning. You know, you're starting a new job, you know, starting a new relationship. You know, that's all very exciting. You might be in the summer, which is a time for growth, where you think, right, actually, you know, there's certain areas of my life now I need to grow, whether that's spiritually, emotionally, you know, all sorts of physically, you know, all sorts of areas. You could be in the fall, which is where you kind of reap what you sow, and that's kind of like the harvest time of life. Or you might be in the winter. Okay, and that's time where we can kind of, you know, maybe you're sitting back, you're just chilling, you're resting for a little bit, and you can reflect. It's a time for reflection, so you can figure out, you know, where you want to go from here on out. And one goal must not detract from another as well. So you can't have one goal that just occupies all of your time. So that wouldn't be aligned with your other goals. So alignment's a big thing. They've got to be aligned with where you are in your life. They've got to be aligned with your values as well. You know, so the values that you stand for as a person, you know, the standards that you have, what you demand from yourself, what you demand from other people, and they have to be aligned, yeah, with each other, and the seasons of your life as well. What season do you reckon you're in before we move on? Give me some feedback. Where do you reckon you are? Are you in the spring? I'm definitely in the spring. There's a lot of new stuff going on for me, and there's things that are just starting out. Just on the birth of Bulletproof Actor, Unstoppable Confidence, Infinite Success. So Sam, you reckon you're in the spring as well? Maybe you work really hard all winter and you're just about to, you know, reap the rewards. You might just be going into kind of like the fall, I guess, where you're just about to harvest everything. Christine is in the spring as well. Excellent, Christine. What new stuff have you got going on, Christine? I've not seen you for a while. Let us know if you've got anything exciting. Summer, so that's the time of growth, Nina. Awesome. Summer, definitely growing, but with a hint of spring creeping in. Well, that's wicked. That's really, really good, Kim. Girly Whirly's in the summer as well. It's the time for growth. Absolutely. That's brilliant. Awesome that you can recognise that. So just recap. So the first two, they're two A's, double A's, okay? So it's actionable and aligned, okay? So they've got to be actionable, as in that they are, you know, they begin with a verb, they're not to be goals, and they are aligned, okay, with your season, with what you stand for, and the goals have to be aligned with each other. Next up, and this is absolutely the antithesis of realistic, your goals have got to be challenging. This is what I like. Forget realistic. Okay, so this is the C. So we've got A, and C so far. Your goals must be challenging and not necessarily realistic. They must demand your best effort and take you into your discomfort zone, okay? This is hard to get your head around, but when you're setting your goals, if you feel fear, uncertainty and doubt, you're in the right zone, okay? You don't want to be setting yourself goals that are just like, well, I know I can achieve that. That's just going to be what I did last year. I've kind of done a little bit. If you, for instance, you know, I don't know, if you've got, I don't know, 5 acting jobs this year if you're an actor. I know a lot of actors are watching these scopes, but there's going to be people on this scope tonight who aren't actors, but if you've got 5 acting jobs in last year, don't set yourself a goal to get 6, you know, all the same. I just want to get the same amount of acting work next year. You know, that's not a goal. Get out of your comfort zone, double it, go for 10, you know, or whatever that may be. You know, if you earn, I don't know, X amount, you know, £10,000 in acting work last year or whatever, aim to double it again. Let's go all out. You know, let's get yourself to a point where you you know, you fear or you feel discomfort. And don't always set goals. I'm not always saying that we're setting goals to do with career here as well. This could be physicality. This could be what you want to do with your, you know, in the gym, or, you know, running if you've done a 10K before. Why don't you set yourself, rather than going, I'm going to do it from a 10K to a half marathon, why don't you go, well, I'm just going to go for the full marathon? You know, that might scare you. I went from nothing to a marathon. I didn't even run any races. In 2010, I was like, right, I'm just a bit competitive, you see. I was like, right, what's the hardest thing that you can do? Right, well, it's kind of a marathon running wise, although it's not, it's an ultra, which is 2 marathons. I didn't know that at the time, and I've not done that, and I don't intend to do that. I was like, right, I'm just going to go for the marathon straight away. And yeah, you know, I soiled myself a little bit. I was like, I can't believe I've put myself in for this. This is kind of a big deal. You know, people die doing marathons, and I've never run a mile in my life, and I'm just going to train for a marathon. But I did it because I pushed myself to do it. So challenge yourself with your goals. Your goals must be challenging, not necessarily realistic. Give me an idea of something that'll challenge you. Let's get some interaction going on this tonight. What sort of things do you think would scare you? You know, if maybe you'd put on, if you are an actor, you'd put on your own show this year, or you might you know, you might film your own work, you might put stuff out there. Maybe you've got something in your head, a script, a film, a book, you know, a song, and you've had it in your head for years, and you've been petrified to put it out there in case someone says, oh, you're not very good, or that's rubbish, or they don't like it. Are you going to take that to the grave with you, or are you going to get it out there? Because you are the only person who can ever get that out into the public. No one else is going to be able to do that for you. So let us know if you've got anything that you've been thinking of doing for years that you would like to do in 2016, but you're a bit scared. You're a little bit scared of doing it, because if that's the case, it's got to be one of your 7 to 10 goals that you're going to set yourself for next year. So that's the C for challenging. Next up, and this is crucial, I'm trying to start coaching people for drama schools or auditions. I'm terrified. What terrifies you about it, Charlotte? What's terrifying about that? I did that. I finally suggested my radio plays idea. Yes, you did, Kim. And didn't people say once you suggested them that they were really good, and you'd been like, I don't think, you know, I don't really want to put them out there because people aren't going to think that they're any good. And then you've had loads of support. I'm sure you mentioned that in the Facebook group. Don't feel qualified. Right, okay, cheeky peeky, that is totally natural, and what you're doing there, that's called imposter syndrome. We all have this. Whenever you're going into something new, you'll have imposter syndrome where you feel you aren't qualified, okay? I had this when you know what, even when I started doing these scopes, right? I started doing these scopes and I started writing my mindset course for actors, Bulletproof Actor, okay? It's been like 7 months in the making, Bulletproof Actor. But when I first started out, see, people have been really supportive for Kim. Exactly, Kim. When I first started out, I was like, right, okay, I have no qualifications. I actually do have an A level in psychology, but I have no degrees in psychology or anything like that, okay? I've got an A at A level in psychology, not really a lot to do with mindset. But over the last 8 years, I've read, it must be over 200 books on mindset, a lot of scientific research. Definitely the imposter syndrome here for Sam as well, she reckons. Loads of stuff that, you know, that has been backed by science. All the research that I read and everything that I preach, I tend to, you know, I'm very scientific kind of in my methodology for life, really. I like proof of stuff. You can do some filming stuff on your own, Carl, cheap equipment, see how it goes. Excellent, do that. But yeah, when I was you know, thinking of writing the course, I was like, I don't know if people are going to take me seriously. I don't know if people are going to believe what I say. I don't know if people are going to think I'm a fraud. Am I really qualified, you know, to teach this kind of stuff? And I was like, well, you know what, actually, I've read all these books, they're all scientifically backed, I've implemented all of this stuff into my own life, completely changed it around. That's more evidence and proof in itself. The way that I can teach this to people is unique, I guess. You know, there are billionaires out there teaching mindset, there are millionaires out there teaching mindset, there are really successful people teaching it, but they can't teach it in the way that I can teach it, in the same vein that I can't teach it in the way they can teach it. I can't teach you how to do this from my perspective as a millionaire or a billionaire. I can teach you this stuff though on a level that I think you're going to relate to a lot more, because I'm kind of doing it with you. This is all stuff that I'm implementing in my life. And, you know, various areas of my life I might be a step ahead, other areas of my life I might be a step behind you. But the things that I teach, you only really need to be one step ahead of people in order to be able to give them the gift of that knowledge. So if you've got imposter syndrome about these drama school people, as long as you are just one step ahead of them, that's all you need to be. You don't need to be a complete expert on every single thing. You know, just have faith in your training, in what you've done. And know that, you know, if you're doing it from a really authentic place as well, you know, you care about these people, I'm guessing, who you're going to be coaching. You've got absolutely nothing to feel unqualified or, you know, to feel like you're an imposter. You've got no reason whatsoever, but it's something that everybody feels when they're going into something for the first time. It's only, I mean, I've only really been into maybe half a dozen places now to speak on mindset. The first time I went into a place, I had that same feeling again, going, oh my God, are they going to like take this seriously? Now I go in, I love it. Carl was there when I went to talk to Lee Boardman's acting school, and we had a great time, Carl, didn't we? It was awesome. You know, it was really, really good. And I can be super confident about it because I've done it a lot of times now, but the first time that you do go into something, you're always going to feel like that. So just don't let it get the better of you. Where were we? Time bound. Brill, says Carl. It was good, Carl. I'm going to come back in January. I think Lee's amazing, great guy. So I'm going to come back and you know, and do some more with you guys. I love it. Pleasure, Cheeky Peaky, no problem. So time bound was the next thing. That's the T. So we have AACT. So you must assign dates to all of your goals, okay? But you don't want to be assigning the same date to all of them, because you know, that's not going to be good for you, okay? When you assign dates, it's going to push you into action, okay? And it's going to help with your accountability to yourself, really, because you've promised yourself you're going to be doing it by a certain time. Also makes you more efficient and less prone to perfectionism. I used to have this a lot as well, and you know what? I've had it during Bulletproof Actor. I still suffer from it a little bit. I need everything to be perfect sometimes, and I'm like, you know what? The famous saying, isn't it? Done is better than perfect. Set yourself goals with time limits on it. I initially wanted to get Bulletproof Actor, Unstoppable Confidence, Infinite Success out by the end of September. I then went October, November, December. It's going to be first week of January. 3 months, 3 and a bit months overdue. It is absolutely world class now. It's way better than it would have been if I'd have put it out in September, but I promise you, if I'd have put it out in September, it still would have been very, very good. People would have benefited from it. I should have been maybe a bit more strict with myself and decided, you know, that I should have just put it out there anyway. I didn't on this occasion because it's the first product that I'm giving you guys, and I want it to be the flagship product, and I want it to be the best. But in future, all my other products will absolutely be, you know, be out there when I set deadlines for them, even if they're not perfect. Said that, I did say that about your show reel, Carl. Yeah, actors have this thing where they feel that they can't really, they can't really kind of apply for jobs or go for auditions and stuff until they've collected the set, and the set is headshot, show reel, and agent. And a lot of people go, I can't get my show reel until I get that footage back that's not going to be shown on TV for 6 months, or that student film but they're not going to have edited for 3 months, so I can't put my show reel together and send it out to get an agent until I've got that footage back. Nonsense, right? Done is better than perfect. Work with what you have got now and add to it later on. So I had this discussion with Carl. He was waiting for his show reel and going, oh, maybe I should start in the new year. And on the scopes that we did in early December, earlier this month, where I was saying, you've got December. Don't forget you've got December. Don't wait till January like the 99% of people, all those sheep who just wait till January. And Carl, look at that, amazing. So Carl, so you got your agent off the back of taking action. It's a massive part of Bulletproof Actor is the importance of taking action and taking massive action. You're going to get great results if you take massive action, and that feeds back into your belief system and the things about yourself and how you can and why you can and can't do things. So yeah, it's really important. Done is better than perfect, but I still get challenged by this as well, you know, so you know, we're all prone to it. But by setting time-bound goals, you're going to have more chance of getting things done by the dates that you're setting, you know. But don't set them all for December the 31st, 2016 and go, oh, I'll give myself the whole year. Don't do that. Try and set yourself a time limit for one of your goals by the end of January. The other one might be like, you know, middle of February, and there could be some at the end of March, you know, some in the summertime. Spread them out so you're not, you know, you're not rushing everything, but don't set them too far in the distance so that you can forget about them and relax too much. Give yourself really specific time-bound, you know, deadlines that are going to force you to work towards it. We always work better when we know we've got a deadline. It's like my show reel, how I got my agent. Done better than perfect. Exactly. You know what? We should do that as a hashtag on Twitter. Bulletproof Actor. Done better than perfect. Do it. Spread the word. Right. Next, another important one. After time-bound. Inspiring. Dead simple this, but super simple. If your goals don't, you know, excite you and inspire you, just make ones that do. Okay, there's not really much more to explain about that point. Your goals have got to be inspiring though. They've got to excite you. You know, there's no point in setting goals that are just mundane and things that you feel like chores, things you feel you have to do. You know, oh, I must be better with this, or I must get that. You know, it's just not. You've only got 7 to 10. No more than 10. Don't waste one on something that isn't going to inspire you, you know, and isn't going to challenge you and isn't going to kind of motivate you to get up in the morning. You know, you don't want to be setting yourself 7 uninspiring goals and you wake up on January the 1st and I'm just like, right, well, brilliant, got to go up and, you know, I don't know, learn about tax. Got to get better with my tax. Just pay your tax. You don't have to set that as a crazy goal to get amazing at and figure it all out. Unless you're an accountant. And then you definitely need to be better with tax. Right, next one. O, objective, okay? This is important. This O and this N for objective and narrow, these kind of feed into each other, guys, okay? So you'll notice now we had A, C, T, I, O and N. Action with 2 A's. That's Michael Hyatt's idea. Good on you, Michael. He'll never watch this scope, but if you do, Michael, thanks. A goal to lose weight is not objective, okay? Neither is a goal to earn more money. I'm sick of hearing people say that. What do you want to do next year? Well, I just want to earn more money. Well, here's a £5. There you go. Goal complete, idiot. Your goals must include an internal criteria by which progress can be evaluated, right? A goal to earn £10,000 more than last year is objective and progress can be measured. So, you know, if you say I want to lose weight, that's you know, I guess I mean that in itself can kind of be measured, but it's going to fluctuate up and down. You know, how much weight do you want to lose? Like £1/4 pound? Well, you can probably do that in a day. Done. You know, set yourself a goal with all of these strategies in place. So it would be, right, well, I want to lose £10 by March the 31st, 2015. You can measure your progress, and you might lose £2 one week. Then the week after that you might put on a pound, but it's all right because you're checking in with yourself. As long as you keep checking in with yourself, you can get yourself back on track. Talking about goals brings out sassy Ross. I don't even know what is the verb to be sassy. See, I don't even know what that is really, unless it was a predictive text error. But yeah, I'll just continue to be sassy. Right, narrow, okay. Really drill down into the specificity of a goal. So it's basically just what we're saying about the being objective there, right? A goal to learn photography is not nearly as narrow as a goal to complete Photography 101 on the e-learning site lynda.com, for example. Lynda.com, great site for learning anything technical, and they do, well, not even technical, just anything, languages, anything to do with computers, software programs, all sorts of stuff, photography, cinematography. But if you're setting yourself goals, you know, set them so specific like that. You know, yeah, I could say, oh, well, I want to get better at photography this year. No idea where to start, because once you set these goals, you've got to get yourself a next action step, and you wouldn't know what that action step was. Whereas if you set it to do it on lynda.com, you go on my action step for the next is to sign up for lynda.com. Defo sassy, excellent, good work. I'll take that as a compliment. I'm just being so sassy tonight. Next, okay, so that's the acronym. So it's ACTION with 2 A's. It stands for actionable, aligned, challenging, time-bound, inspiring, objective, and narrow. Okay, I'm going to upload a PDF, hashtag #SassyRod. I'm going to upload a PDF document of this that you can download. If you've not made notes, then you can download the PDF. You'll get that from actonthis.tv in the Periscope section from tomorrow, 31st of December 2015. If you want to take quick screenshots, you can do, just so that you maybe want to have a look at it afterwards, or you can always watch the replay of this as well. But actionable and aligned is number 1. And then we've got number 2. We've got challenging, time-bound, and inspiring. And then we've got objective and narrow. So yeah, that's the acronym ACTION with 2 A's. So that'll help you remember it. So what do you do once you've written your goals? Okay, so there's a few other things that you can do. There's another 2 steps in this process. In this process. So number 1 was write them down. Number 2 was get them down in that manner that we just mentioned, you know, stating your goals effectively. Number 3 is to share your goals wisely. Who, when they've set themselves goals in the past, has gone out telling everybody what they're going to do? Let me know if you've done that. If you've gone around going, oh yeah, someone says, how you doing? Oh, I've just set myself this challenge to walk this, climb this, lose this, make this, whatever. And how has that made you feel when you've shared your goals with other people? Because it's double-edged sword, this, when you're sharing it with others. Let me know if you've done that. And you go around, maybe you share them on social media. You put your goals on Twitter, or Instagram, or Facebook, or something like that. And you've maybe done that very quickly after making them. You've come up with the goals that you wanted to achieve, and you've just whacked it out on Facebook or something for the whole world to see. Because that does 2 things. Okay, it motivates you a little bit. Because so you told 1 or 2 people, Kim, okay, probably, but can't think of a specific time. 2 things, it'll motivate you a little bit, because you'll be like, right, I've told people now, so again, it's another form of accountability. But also what it does is when you tell people about what you want to achieve, it actually makes you feel really, really good. And studies have found that the feeling is almost as good as having achieved those goals, unfortunately. So the more you spread the word indiscriminately to people, to go, I'm going to do this, I'm going to earn this much money next year, and that kind of thing, it fires you up to the point where it's almost like your psychology is like, well, I feel like I've already achieved it, and it actually stops you from taking that massive action. So it can actually be a negative if you share your goals too much. Sharing it with my friend, who's usually really good at making goals happen, but we got distracted. Well, this is what you should do, guys, okay? From again, science. I love science, and I've read a lot of studies, okay? So you share your goals wisely. Studies show that you're less likely to achieve your goals if you share them indiscriminately, okay? The feeling you get through sharing your goals is almost as satisfying as completing them, and thus it lowers your drive to take action. Okay, you're more likely to achieve your goals by sharing them with a small group of supportive friends and colleagues. And what have we got that is perfect for doing that? Post your goals in the Bulletproof Actor Facebook group, and that's www.facebook.com/groups/Bulletproof Actor. But the key is that you're sharing them with just a few people, because you do need that accountability. People will ask you how you're getting on with them, and that's going to make you more accountable. But you don't want to be sharing them with the whole world, because it almost makes you feel like you've already done them, because everybody's like, oh, well done, that's a really, really great goal. It's like, it's nice to keep something back until you've done it, and then you can tell people you've done it, you know, as opposed to telling people you're gonna do it, in which case you'll get kind of half that satisfaction, but then that in itself stops you from taking the action to get the full satisfaction of actually going through with it and, you know, and completing your goals. So be careful who you share them with. Share them with your significant other, by all means, your family, a couple of your close friends. Don't go spreading them out too far and wide, but definitely share them in the Facebook group, because we can all support each other. One thing I love about the Facebook group is everybody's really supportive, and I love seeing people commenting on other people's things that they've done and things that they've achieved already. So that is great. Keep that up. Then number 4, we mentioned this before. Once you've shared your goals wisely, You then want to review your goals regularly. Okay, I mentioned this before. Studies show that most people make the same New Year's, this is insane, same New Year's resolution an average of 10 times. Give me some hearts if you've been part of that club. How many years have you wanted to get fitter, get healthier, run more, earn more money, get a better acting career? You know, have you done that 10 times already? I think I definitely did before I started setting goals properly. So they set the same New Year's resolution an average of 10 times because they don't review their progress. Okay, reviewing your progress on a weekly basis will give you 52 times more chance of success than those who review their goals just once a year, which is generally from New Year's Eve to the next New Year's Eve. Okay, I want you, if you can, print out your goals. Okay, frame them, right? Track them on apps on your computer or your tablet or your phone. Things like Evernote is a great way to track your goals, and it's free. You can download a free version of it. You should be constantly tracking progress, okay, and updating your next action steps. So your next action steps really are the way that you chunk down your goals into really manageable steps. And like I said on a lot of scopes before, you don't ever need to know every single step in the process. You might make your goal tomorrow. Don't worry at all. It doesn't matter if you don't know how you're going to do it yet. It's almost none of your business. Setting your goals is all that is your business right now. All you need to find is your next action step. And I said this before, you imagine you're on a dark staircase and you're on one stair and that is lit up, and it lights up just enough so you can see the next step. And when you step onto that, that's going to light up just enough so you can see the next step. And this is generally how it's going to go all the way for those 10, 12, 20, 100 steps, whatever it is, for you to actually achieve that goal. So you only need to know your next action step. So when you're writing your goals, just figure that out. What is the first step in that equation? It might be sending an email, calling somebody, researching something online, applying for a course, you know, anything. It'll be a tiny little step just to get that momentum going, and then that will feed you the next step. You know, set goals with your agent if you're an actor. Once you've got some of your career goals, you know, make them share them with your agent. Make your agent one of those people that you will share those goals with, and you can work together. You're aligned then. When we said before, your goals have to be aligned with themselves, with you, with your values, and other people as well, you know, that can help you make those goals happen. So share them with your agent. Definitely, that's cool to do that. But you only need to know one step, that next step. Don't worry if you don't see all the steps yet. So review your goals. That was the fourth step, review your goals. So I want to set you guys a challenge, right? And I don't know if you have time for this, but I say New Year's Eve is when I do all my goal setting and stuff. I set a lot of the day out for this, because generally don't go out drinking anymore, way past that. But okay, your New Year's Eve 2015 Bulletproof Challenge, okay? I want you to go, if you can do this. This is really going to help you, okay? Because it's best to set your goals when you're feeling inspired. And I mean, you might do it straight after this scope. But it would be great if you go for a 45-minute walk, okay, tomorrow, whilst listening to an inspiring playlist. So put your put your iPod on, get a really, your favourite playlist out, and go for a walk. Think of 7 to 10 challenging goals for 2016. No less than 7. Certainly no more than 10, okay? Include non-career goals. That's really important. Don't make these all acting related. You'll have a very boring life next year if all you do is study acting. Include non-career goals, okay? So think about your physicality, travel aspirations, relationship status, where you live, who is in your life, your hobbies, spirituality, business opportunities, other stuff. And then determine your push goal. Your push goal is going to be the one goal that will expedite the rest. So you'll have one goal amongst those 7 to 10 that it'll be blatantly obvious as well. You look at them and you go, which goal, if I achieve first, is going to enable me, greater chance of fulfilling all those other goals. Okay, so one of my push goals last year was to set up VOfocus.com, which is the voiceover training company that I run, because that would generate income for me that I could then put back into Act on This, Bulletproof Actor, and a lot of my other goals around those businesses. It would enable me to spend more money effectively, earn more money, to spend more money investing in my other businesses that would make all the goals within those businesses much easier to achieve if I had extra capital. So that was the first goal that I set myself last year, and I set myself the goal of setting up that company and launching the first workshop I did this on the 31st of December, and I set my goal for the 31st of January 2015. And I remember the satisfaction I felt when I had launched that first workshop, and it sold out in a day. And it sold out on the 28th of January. I did it 3 days early. And it generated a significant amount of cash that I could then pay a web developer to help me not relaunch, but redevelop a lot of the acts on this website. And it felt great because I was like, wow, this is the push goal. I did it by the time I'd set. Well, actually, I did it 3 days early, and that was a catalyst really for a year that I look back on 2015 as a really great year, in business and the things that I've done, the impact that I've made, and and how I've been able to use that positively to help a lot of other people. But that was my push goal. So figure out what your push goal is amongst those 7 to 10 goals, and then go after that like a dog with a bone to get that one first. It's going to make the rest of your year a lot easier. And then once you've figured out your push goal, post it to the Facebook group. And you all know the Facebook group by now, but yeah, facebook.com/groups/Bulletproof Actor. Just let us know what that one push goal is. You don't have to post all your goals if you don't want to. Maybe you want to keep some private, but just post that push goal. If you can't do it tomorrow, and maybe you do your goals on New Year's Day or whatever, or the day after, just try and do them when you're inspired and as soon as possible. Take action. There's no better time really than now. If you want to do your some of your goals now, maybe you write down the first 3, think about the rest and do them tomorrow, but get them down, write them down. Seriously, it's life changing. It is like, I preach it a lot. Everyone I speak to now, when they ask me like, oh, how do I get further in this and faster in that, it's like, what are your goals? Are you setting them? What's your next action step? Which is your push goal? Which goal, if you did now, would enable you to reach your other goals faster? It's really, really important. So like I say, I'll upload this as a PDF document tomorrow. If you go to actsonthis.tv, if you're watching the replay on Periscope, if you're watching this within 24 hours on Periscope, there'll also be a replay on actsonthis.tv tomorrow on New Year's Eve 2015, going into 2016, and you'll be able to download a PDF with all that information in it. But get it written down, and then once you've written it by hand, all your goals, obviously then you can transfer them over to your apps and your smartphone and your tablet and stuff, and you can type them up. But I just love writing them down. I've got my special such a geek special goal setting pen here. Use this one every year. It's magic. It's Parker pen. I think my mum got it for Christmas years and years and years ago. It's like ancient, but I get a refill for it like once a year, and I always just write down important stuff with that. But it's cool. You can also print them out. Yeah, print your goals out. I will print stuff out. This is the certificate from Bulletproof Actor that you're all going to get if you sign up to the course. This is the lesson 1 declaration, but I like to have stuff printed out around so that you can see it all the time. I also got from more Bulletproof Actor, this is how you create your limitless life story, and there's I printed that out, my limitless life story, put it up there. I can always read it anytime I need a bit of inspiration to get back on track. So printing stuff out and having it around is really important. It's going to really just remind you of what you've got to achieve and stop you sitting in your computer watching cats on Facebook throughout 2016, because I've certainly done that enough in my life. Definitely, people need to stop putting entertaining animals on the internet. I love your geeking out. I do geek out sometimes, Kim, honestly. I'm sassy one minute, the next minute I'm just an absolute geek. So has that been helpful for you? Give me some hearts if it's been, if you're going to use it and it's been helpful. Honestly, like, I've not been able to go into super depth on this. It'd be great. At the first meeting, actually, for we're going to do some monthly meetups to Acts on This again, and I want all the Bulletproof Actor crowd there as well. We'll probably do them in Manchester. Carl said it's great. Cheers, Carl. Glad it's been useful. We should go, we can kind of go through this in a bit more in depth individually with people, and we can all share, stuff like that in person, and and aid each other, a little bit better, I guess. But it is really, really valuable, definitely, without a doubt. Do it, and please post me the push goal of yours in the Facebook group sometime over the next few days. If you can do it tomorrow, ideal, that's great, and then you're going into the new year with that clarity. It's always nice, isn't it, to start the new year knowing what you're doing, as opposed to having to do this process first week of January. Although still valuable. Don't worry, if you're busy tomorrow, don't sack this off. This is like, this is the glue that will hold your 2016 together. Goals are us, says Nina. Exactly. It's called Goals are us, Goals are us, Goals are us. It's not really. Right, I'll leave you to it. What time is it? Wow, okay, that was a long one. It's like 44 minutes. Yeah, if you're watching this on the replay, thanks so much for getting to the end. Really appreciate you. Do come and join us on the Facebook group, bulletproofactor.com as well, if you want to get your invite to my upcoming mindset course. Guys, seriously, it's so kick-ass. It's, even if I say so myself, it's been 7 months, but it's 7 months well spent. I've got 4 videos left to edit, I think, and a welcome video, and then it's ready. There is going to be a public launch of it, right? Let me just run this by the few people that are on here. I'm going to launch this publicly around about the 14th of January. However, it's going to be ready within the next couple of days. I know you sent me a testimonial. Thank you so much for the people who've sent testimonials. They're going to go on the Bulletproof Actor website. If you're not bothered necessarily about waiting for the public launch and seeing, because there's going to be a whole kind of series of videos that goes out to get people into the mood before they, you know, sign up for the course, and there's, you know, they're effectively kind of like it's a free mini course that acts as kind of a way to kind of build rapport with people so that they trust me and they know my stuff's genuine. So I don't want people to just buy it without really knowing me. So I'm going to send out a video course so that people can get to know me before they decide to spend the money with me. Because you already know me, most people on these scopes, if you're not bothered about sitting through those little mini course and you actually just want to get into it quicker, would you want me to just put it on sale exclusively for you guys privately through the Facebook group, so you can just get it early? It would mean that when we do the live version of the training will start in February. So it means you'll have it for a couple of weeks before everybody else. So the live training won't start any earlier, but you'll get earlier access to the self-study part of the course. If you'd be interested, say yes. If you're interested, I'll make it happen. It would mean that you'll get access to it, you know, exclusively 2 weeks before anybody else, effectively. Because I'm excited to get it out there. I just want to see people using it, to be honest. And then I'd just be sitting on it otherwise. Yes, says Carl. Yes, says Nina. Awesome. Well, I'll set up an exclusive. Andre, yes. Sam, yes. I'll set up a private sales page, effectively, that will tell you exactly what you get, the price of everything. Because it's not a super cheap course, guys. As well, when you see the price, it's not massively expensive. But it's not something that, you know, it's not less like, you know, 20 quid or something like that. There's a few reasons for that. One, it's taken me 7 months to create and it's cost thousands of pounds to make. Christine says yes. 2, well, it's 3 actually. 2 is if you invest money in it, you're going to do it. Okay, if you got it for free or you got it very cheap, you're not going to go through the course because you're going to be like, you know, it doesn't mean anything to me. It's not worth anything to me. 3, how much would you pay to literally rewrite your life and to change your life? Well, what, you know, that for me is absolutely priceless. This is 8 years of study that I've been through, distilled into 5 hours of video and really high quality PDF documents that you go through. It is so valuable, and there's a 30-day money back guarantee. If you go through the course and you go, Ross, that was rubbish, what the hell have you spent? What the hell have you spent 7 months doing, idiot? I will give you a full refund as long as you've been through the course. I can see if people have watched the videos, I can see if people have filled the books in. If you have done that and you've been through the process and you think it's no good, absolutely no quibble whatsoever. I will, like, you know, if I'd come around your house and give you the money in your hand, but I'll just do it. I'll do it through the internet. But yeah, I will absolutely just, you know, give you your money back. I'm so behind the product. It's worked for me, so I really hope it can work for you. And it's so exciting to see people's progress once they've been through it, because it will liberate you. It will, honestly, it will change you. You will be a totally changed person. I recorded the last video. I'm just editing the last 4, but I've recorded all the videos now, and I recorded the last video and I was reading. There's a little letter in the back of the PDF that I leave you on, effectively, but I read it out on camera to the people who might want to listen to the audio. They might have the book with them, or they might have the video with them, and it's like, it's really powerful, man. It's like, it's quite emotional at the end. I'm thinking, like, wow, I feel like I've taken people through a massive journey. Like, I've taken people through a really valuable journey. But like, I feel that once you've been through the course, you feel like we've been through a lot together. Honestly, it's like, it's pretty deep. The course is quite personal. There's a lot of information that I share personally about myself, other people in my life, friends and stuff like that, and it will get you to think about all that stuff as well, help you rewrite all the bullshit limiting beliefs you've got about yourself, about why you can and can't do things. You know, I used to have them coming out of my ears 8 years ago, just like everywhere. Oh, I can't do this, I'm not made for this, I'm not good enough for that. As soon as you break down those barriers and just get rid of all that bullshit, your life is just infinitely better. Sass, geek and passion all in one night. I think I need a chamomile tea to calm down. Loving it. Yeah, no, well, I'm going to go and have the rest of this latte, and I'm going to upload this replay before it turns into like a 6-hour Periscope. But thank you. Yeah, I'm so excited to get it out there. I will keep you all updated. If you're not on the waiting list for Bulletproof Actor, get to bulletproofactor.com and just opt in. Leave your email address. You don't need to, you don't pay for anything yet or anything like that. Just leave your email address. and I will send you an invite as soon as it's available. But if you're in the part of the Bulletproof Actor Facebook group, you're going to get early access. So cheers guys, thanks for staying on with me. I hope all the goal setting stuff goes really well. Please let me know what your push goal is. I'll let you know what mine is as well, because I'm going to be doing this tomorrow. And I will catch up with you, I'll catch up with you in 2016.